Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, for everyone who's new, my name is Michelle. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. So, today I'm going to talk about the upcoming month of June 2026. I will start off with explaining this month in general, some aspects, what to expect, and then we're going to dive into all the signs. Now, most accurate is your rising sign, and for additional information, you can also check your sun sign and your moon sign. This is also Western astrology. Now, there will be a lot of shift in this month of June, so grab a cup of coffee or tea because this is going to be a long video. So let's look at the month ahead of June, which I'm very, very excited to talk about because this is going to be a fantastic month. Okay, besides the last bit, which I'm going to explain, but this is going to be such an amazing month. I think it's going to be one of the best months of 2026. Okay. So let's start off with talking about this new moon, which will happen on the 15th of June at 24 degrees and 2 minutes. Okay. And, we're in the season of Gemini. And with this new moon, it is really time for a lighthearted time, following your curiosity, starting something new. Maybe you want to study something new. It can just be a day where you just want to enjoy, go to a museum, go to visit a city, because, Gemini is also related to transportation. So it might be time for you to buy a new car. Okay, better this new moon than later in the month. And I'm going to explain that. Okay. So if you want to buy a car, do it before the end of June. Okay. I'm going to give you the precise dates. So this is just a time to have fun. We have Mercury in a sextile with Mars, so great conversations, right? Mercury is in Cancer. This is a feeling sign, right? It's ruled by the moon. So it's time to talk about your feelings, but also listening to your intuition in order to take action. Okay. Mars is in Taurus, action towards money. We also have Venus in Leo. So it's a very creative time. It's time to create something from the heart, right? Because Venus in Leo is really acting from the heart there. And Venus is also in sextile with Uranus, so it's really about excitement. Uranus is in Gemini, so it's really an uplifting time. Now, we do have Venus also in an opposition with Pluto retrograde. So do not try to control too much the outcome, right? In a romantic situation or in a creative situation. This is really about being in the moment and really just following your curiosity. That would be definitely the highest outcome here. Venus is close to Jupiter. We're going to have Venus conjunct Jupiter, and it's going to be the strongest because it's both, up until the 12th, when Venus is also in Cancer. So between the 1st and the 12th of June is going to be such an amazing time, right? And I had such a good question, of a viewer because I said in my Jupiter in Leo video, like, when Jupiter's in Leo, we're going to take more action because this is a fire sign. But, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Why is that then? Because, in astrology, ultimately, this is a spiritual tool. Okay, this is to get to know ourselves better and go on the spiritual path. So when we look at Cancer, right, this is the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, emotions. This is where we create life. So what is more exalted than right where life is created? So this is very intuitive. So it's exalted here because Jupiter is wisdom. It wants to be guided. So that matches very well with the energy of Cancer. Okay. So whereas Jupiter in Leo, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more because we're going to have the shift this month is going to be more about action. But this is a very, very creative month, okay? and especially also this new moon. So follow your curiosity. Then we have this full moon in Capricorn. So here it's time to take action. Okay. Capricorn is the sign of responsibility. This is the sign also of karma. But how can we face karma? We have to go through it, not run away from it. Sometimes Saturn restricts people because it says, you know what? You need to reconsider the actual direction that you're going to. Okay. And this full moon is in a square with Neptune and Saturn. So this is really about you taking responsibility. And maybe in some areas you haven't done that yet. And you know what? Saturn does reward people that actually go through things, right? And sometimes I hear people say, no, 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 Saturn is not, is being very strict. It is strict. It's the strict teacher. So if lessons are not learned, it's going to be stricter with you and stricter with you. Okay. So it's balancing the masculine and the feminine. So listening to your intuition, but also taking action. Very, very important. Venus is trine Saturn. This is really about commitment. A trine is a beautiful alignment, right? This is about creativity, taking things serious. Saturn is in Aries, right? Commitment to yourself, but also committing in a relationship. So if you're meeting someone new, this might be when you want to commit to the next level. This is where you're thinking more seriously. Now, there's a bit of a caution here because we have Mars in a conjunction with Uranus. And, you know, this is going to start by the end of June. I'm going to show you the dates, the exact dates, because this is something that needs a little bit of more care. Okay. So this full moon is, by the way, on the 29th of June at 8 degrees. So you can check in your chart as well if you have any planets in Capricorn and Cancer there. But it's not a good idea to drive angry. So if you're angry, put your feet in the ground before you get in the car. Also not a great time to buy new cars, vehicles, anything like that. Mercury is also related to communication. So it can be that there will be some explosions in communication, some anger. Now, luckily, Gemini is not holding on to anger very much, right? So there will be words and then it will be uh gone soon. But yeah, it is a bit of a volatile time when it comes to communication. Also with traveling, there might be some delays or some obstacles that are coming. So if you don't really have to travel, I would prevent it. If you do, just try to stay calm if things are not going completely as they should. It's quite a volatile alignment. Okay. So let's talk a bit about Chiron in Taurus because Chiron is shifting to the sign of Taurus. It's going to be there for a little while up until the 18th of September. I made a separate video about it, so you can check that out on my channel. Okay, also for Jupiter in Leo, but I still want to go over it because it's so important. Um, so yeah, here we have Chiron, the wounded healer, right? This is where we have our weakness within ourselves. But through that weakness, through this pain that we have, we can understand others. It creates empathy. It creates a healer. So when it's transiting in that house, any wounds you have regarding that sign, regarding that house, will come to the surface for you to heal. Okay, on a global level, because Taurus is so related to money, it's related to self value, self worth. So there will be maybe a bit of a scarcity mindset or fear of losing money. But on a global level, it could be maybe even that there will be some kind of economic crisis. Okay. How can we heal this Chiron in Taurus? We can do some gardening. You can start your own garden. I would recommend that in general to grow your own foods, right? Because we are in a time where we're going to go back to the basics. So learn how to do some gardening, be in the nature, right? Um, give people some hugs. If you're not in a relationship, give a stranger a hug because Taurus is a physical sign. It's about treating yourself. Okay, so cook for yourself, give yourself quality, love, no matter what the circumstances are financially. Try to value yourself. There are a lot of things you can do to treat yourself well, even if money is not there, you can still go to the forest and have a small picnic with, some food or grow your own foods, right? Chiron is going to be square Pluto, okay? So when we look at Pluto now retrograde, but it's going to go up and down. This square is going to be it's going to be there for a long time, going right in the wound because Pluto is the planet of transformation. So you're going to go dive really deep into your feelings, emotions, especially regarding money, and also feeling that maybe money is trapping you and how to free yourself from this maybe anxiety. Okay. Because we live in a time that is so insecure. Every day there's new information, there's just so much information, and I think it creates a lot of confusion. And I think that's why it's so important that we are starting to trust our own intuition again, and dive into our hearts. Because the problem is when we are not connected to our hearts, we don't know what to do, we don't know where we're going, because we're going to try to figure out with the monkey brain what to do. So, this is also part of why I do this as well, because I want to help people connect with themselves again, okay? Because life is so much easier when your inner radar is on instead of off, okay? So Jupiter in Leo, very playful, right? This is ruled by the sun. The sun wants to expand, it wants to shine. Jupiter is wisdom. So, some people will expand their family this year between the 30th of June and the 26th of July. So, yeah, pregnancy, a new hobby, and when I say creative projects, sometimes it's just for you, right? You don't always have to go public with it. You can, okay? You can show it to the public, but Leo is about the inner child and, spoiling the inner child and learning skills and doing something you enjoy. So, yeah, if you can make your joy your work, this is fantastic, but it's not a must. This is up to your heart. So follow your passion. With Jupiter in Leo, it's all about following your passion, following your curiosity, your inner wisdom. It's a very playful uh transit. So it's going to be great. And Leo is also good at leading, okay? So a lot of people will step into a leader position in the house that it's in, okay? Because we lead in different parts in our life, right? We don't just have leaders in the job. We have all kinds of leaders. Let's talk about some other aspects. Like I said, the beginning is so, 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 so amazing. Jupiter conjunct Venus. Okay, we have Jupiter, which is exalted in Cancer. Explain to you why. We have Venus. Venus is a bit different, right? This is more not so much about wisdom and expansion. This is about luxury and treating yourself. So it's time to kind of treat yourself. Don't go overboard. Okay, the only thing is overindulgence, because this alignment will make you feel so good, so great. I don't want to do anything. Oh, is it this late? I forgot to go to work. Okay? It's like you want to just be in a place where you feel great. Okay? So yeah, but good things can come to you, especially if you are in a creative, in the arts or into acting, because you're gonna get this magnetic, especially if this is in the first house, you're gonna have this magnetic glow about you. So opportunities can come your way. And with these two together, it's not necessarily something you're going to work hard for. That's where Saturn comes in. Okay. Maybe it's something you already worked hard for and you're reaping the fruits right now. So Jupiter will be conjunct Mercury as well between the 19th of June and the 27th. So it's a very intuitive time. You're going to maybe get intuitive downloads, really good ideas. There's so much wisdom coming to you. Maybe you feel like writing, journaling, and Cancer is the sign of going inward, finding your roots, feeling secure within. Okay, like the wisdom is found actually in not moving so much. We're gonna have Jupiter in Leo very soon. This is movement, this is energy, this is creativity. But Cancer is excelling in silence, because then you can feel your emotions. That's the radar. Okay, so if there's anything you need to do, you need to write, you need to do, sit in silence. That's going to help you, or swim. Cancer is, a swimmer, just like Pisces. They love to swim. So, um, we have Mercury retrograde starting on the 28th of June 2026 until 24th of July 2026. Okay. Also in the sign of Cancer. So reflecting on family, reflecting on your past, looking over things you have done before, maybe a certain project that you need to look at. Also, because mm, when it's retrograde, it doesn't mean not starting anything new, but it's better to wait when Mercury is direct unless you have Mercury retrograde in your chart. Sometimes it's going back to something you've done before, you know, going back to a client or work, and also reading and writing contracts. Be very, very careful, okay, during this time. Yeah, I will say it again. Mars, Uranus is very unexpected. So things can shift from left to right. Mars is passion. So a lot of things can blow up in the right way, but some things can blow up in the wrong way. So I just give it a bit of caution, and don't drive angry. I'm going to say it again because there will be, people are going to start making accidents. Also, it's an air sign. People will be in their head. Okay. So ground yourself before doing activities, before doing sports. Be careful with your precious body around this time. Let's start with Aries. So we have this new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June at 24 degrees in your third house. So this is a good time for new ideas. Maybe you're reading, a book that brings a lot of excitement, or you're getting some answers to certain questions that you're having. Buying a new car, best, beginning of the month, later in the month, end of the month, from around the 26th of June, it's better not to do that. Passing your exams, good news about that, or just going on a small trip that you really enjoy doing. Okay. We have Mercury sextile Mars. So you're going to have a very strong voice. Maybe you're selling some extra things, with communication. Maybe if you're in sales or you're a writer, you're doing something or you're speaking, maybe you're giving a presentation and people just love what you're doing. So it can give you opportunities. From the 1st to the 12th of June, I just want to point out Jupiter will be in a conjunction with Venus in the fourth house. So this is fantastic. Maybe you will sell your house at the beginning of the month, rent a new house. Maybe you finalizing a house that you've been redecorating, rebuilding. Also, a good time for people who are in any job related to, family, psychology, real estate. Um, those people will get more attention, okay, or, get a compliments for a job well done, that they've been doing their work very well. And it might just be that you will spend a lovely time with your family, reconnecting with them or your chosen family. Okay. Because I don't know your personal situation. So Venus is in the fifth house, very good for creativity. Obviously, this new moon in Gemini is uplifting, it's fun. So committing to a skill, maybe developing a skill, more commitment in romance because we have Venus. Also, what did I want to say? Yeah, we have Venus in a trine with Neptune and Saturn. So taking things to the next level and helping your children with their projects, maybe as well, or your partner. So we have a full moon in Capricorn here on the 29th of June at 8 degrees and 14 minutes. So this full moon in Capricorn is quite serious, right? This is about taking responsibility in your job. Maybe you feel like you're scared of doing something in your job because it's squaring Saturn and Neptune. It could be that you're getting a promotion and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm up for the task, or you have an idea that you want to do, and you have to overcome the obstacles within yourself that are preventing you from actually reaching those kind of things. Okay. Some of you are moving for a job as well, because we do have, Jupiter almost moving to Leo in your 5th house, okay? Venus trine Saturn, so commitment in your skill set, your creative, creativity. But watch out with Mercury conjunct Uranus there in the 3rd house. Fights with siblings, neighbors, drive carefully. Don't buy new cars now, vehicles, anything. Uranus is so unexpected, and Mars can literally, those two together can explode. So it's like best not to travel if you don't have to. If you have to, ground yourself before going in the car. Okay. Don't drive angry. Uh, yeah, there might be some words, some anger. Find healthy ways to release it because anger is a normal emotion, should be expressed, but in a healthy way. So we have this transit of Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus. Okay, from the 19th of June until the 18th of September, it's going back into Aries and then in your sign, and then it's going to stay, in the sign of Taurus, which is going to be in your 2nd house. So you're healing because this is the wounded healer, right? So anything related to money, if there are any wounds there, any scarcity mindset, fear of losing money, not feeling good enough. Now you have the opportunity to heal that. And it's also going to be square Pluto in the 11th house. So, also with friends, be very mindful of agreements with money and your friends. Okay. Jupiter in Leo, this is fantastic. It's making a trine with your ascendant. So from the 30th of June, Jupiter will be in your 5th house, giving opportunities for you to explore your creativity, and you're going to be more confident about it. So whereas, Chiron in Taurus is talking about self-value, I'm talking about self-confidence. So even Saturn is in the 1st house. Now you will feel this boost. You will overcome it. You will become more secure within yourself. Okay. So new children, some of you will expand the family. It's really just about you following your heart and your passion on whatever it is you want to do. It can be just a hobby, can be actually for work. Maybe you want to turn this creativity into work. It's a great time for actors, people are in social media and things. So yeah, that would be my message for you. Oh yeah, I will get you a card. Almost forgot it. They're next to me. Look at that. Okay, we're getting this card. Don't let anyone make you do something against your will. Sometimes we have friends and family. They want the best for us, but they are trying to like push us according to their experiences. And sometimes it's just good to follow your own gut feeling, right? Romance is in the air. So some of you, yeah, Jupiter in the 5th house, great for meeting someone new. So follow your own heart, listen to what you want to do. And some people just mean well, they just talk from their own experience. So don't let yourself be forced to do something you don't want to do. Okay, so that would be my message for you, my amazing Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help me expand this channel, subscribe to it. Also, leave a comment. I would love to hear what your plans are for June. Is there anything you're gonna do with this Jupiter in Leo? I would love to hear from you what that is going to do for you. Okay, so thank you so much, and until next time. So there we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this new moon on the 15th of June in the 2nd house. So new money opportunities might be coming your way. Also, Uranus is there in the 2nd house, right? And that's giving money through unconventional ways, maybe multiple sources of income, working online, doing something scientific, something out of the box like astrology. Okay. And we have it sextiling Mercury in the 3rd house. So maybe you're signing a new contract. Maybe you're a freelancer and you're signing a new contract with a client, especially regarding anything related to communication, right? Maybe you're a content writer, things like that will be very positive for you. Yeah, housing contract, because Jupiter is so close to the 4th house. And actually, between the 1st and 12th of June, Jupiter will be in a conjunction with Venus in the 3rd house. So listen to your intuition those days. This is like a magical time where you can get so many insights and ideas that actually can bring you money, or maybe you're a writer or something like that, and or a speaker, and you will captivate people to you. Okay, if you're social media and you have this idea, if you feel this idea, do it, because it can get a lot of attention, because your words are going to come from your heart and people are going to feel that and they're going to resonate with that. So Venus is there in the fourth house, sextiling Uranus. So time to maybe redecorate your place. It's also trining Neptune. So it's a very creative time. So if you want to change anything in the home, make it more nice, more balanced, also just clean it, right? It's going to give more inspiration. So a fantastic time, 1st and 12th of June. Don't forget. Also good to buy a new car if that's what you want. Maybe you're buying a new luxury car. And just having a great time with your siblings. Okay, reconnecting with your siblings. On the 29th of June at 8 degrees, we're going to have this full moon in the sign of Capricorn. So you're a fellow earth sign. So you're going to be especially highly impacted if it's 5 degree up or down 8 degrees, sun, moon, and rising in Taurus. Now we have this full moon in the ninth house and it's squaring Saturn in the 12th. So some of you will go abroad, maybe do some voluntary work, but it's not going to be super easy, okay? Because Saturn is there telling you, like, maybe it's not going to go as smooth as you thought it would be. Starting a new study or studying, facing some obstacles, but take your time. Take it one step at a time, okay? If you overcome this, you will have long lasting knowledge. Same with teaching. If you're a teacher, make sure to prepare yourself well. It's time for deep research and really understanding a certain subject, and especially positive if it's spiritual related or anything related to, right? We have Cancer in the third house, motherhood, anything related to creativity, poetry, things like that. Okay. So Mercury stations retrograde and it's conjunct Jupiter here. Okay. Mercury will be retrograde and it will, so watch out with signing contracts. Very important. Maybe you're going over a past book that you were reading or a past study to give you a different perspective on things. Sometimes when you read or watch something twice, it's giving you a different idea. So we have Venus in the fourth house trining Saturn, good for spending time with the family, maybe committing to a housing project. And you might be a little bit off the radar sometimes working on things, but you know, it's all for the greater good. We have Mars conjunct Uranus in the second house. So no time to make money deals here, okay? It's going to be the end of June and also the beginning of July up until like the 13th of July. Be a little careful, okay? What you say about money and also speak about other people's money, it's best to read contracts very well if you sign anything right now, okay? So we have Chiron in Taurus, which is going to be in your first house. So you're overcoming insecurities, if there are any, regarding your body, regarding your physical, anything related to your physical body. It's time to heal it. So take time to take care of yourself and heal really the insecurities that are there. Okay, you can do that by eating greens, cooking for yourself, grounding yourself, right? Like I said, working in the garden. We have a square with Pluto. Pluto is in the 10th. Okay, so it might be that these insecurities come up through work, maybe through a boss that doesn't make you feel very good about yourself, and you're starting to doubt yourself. So it's time to heal that aspect within you, and healing yourself, other people can feel that healing energy of yours. So Jupiter will be in Leo in the fourth house. This is such a good time to spend with your family, to buy a home, sell a home, to be creative in your home, someone to just work from home, or really just redecorate the place in the most beautiful ways. Okay. Let me get you a card. All right. I'm getting feeling tied down or frustrated. So it could be that some days you feel like your life's a little bit stuck, okay? And sometimes when this happens, it's because we have to introspect and we have to self-reflect. Are we on the right track? Is there maybe something else I need to do? Do I need to focus on something else? Or is it just a time to actually respect your body and rest a little bit, right? I'm getting love. And for some of you, this is literally a relationship. But for others, it is about self love and finding this self love again, because sometimes we forget to love ourselves. Okay. And we run and we exhaust our body so much that we don't even realize how much rest we need. We overestimate ourselves, especially in this really busy world where we're always running, you know? And I had to go through this experience myself where I was always working and running after everything and everyone and, chasing life. And then it just all collapsed, and I really needed to restructure my life and see what is important actually. And now I'm much more in peace with myself. And I'm not trying to keep up with things anymore. I'm just living in the moment, trying to do the best that I can, respecting the limitations of my body. And it had to do with me thinking it's not enough. It should always be more. It's never enough. So I decided at some point that it is enough, and I were, working on those boundaries. So I know for sure that some of you Taurus needed to hear that. Let me know in the comments what your plans are for this year. I would love to hear from you, especially with all the shifts. Do you feel it already? Is there something that you're planning? Yeah, I would love to hear from you. Okay. So thank you so much, Taurus, and I'll see you next time. So let's go to Gemini. So Gemini sun and rising. So first of all, between the 1st and the 12th of June, we're going to have a conjunction between Jupiter and Venus. They're both going to be in Cancer in your second house. So that is going to be a fantastic time for you to earn money. Okay, maybe you have this fantastic idea of making money, and because it's in Cancer, for some of you, you've sold a property or you've sold something that gives you lots and lots of money and gives you more opportunity for luxury. Okay. And this is especially more for people who are Gemini rising. Okay. Good for money or just earning money through your creativity. Though Jupiter and Venus receive money, but they love spending it as well. So be careful that you don't spend all of your money. So we have this new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June in your sign. Okay, at 24 degrees. So you're going to be especially highly impacted if you have any planets around 24 degrees. So this is a new beginning. It's almost like this fresh start. So follow this curiosity. Uranus is now also in the first house. So you're going to feel a bit more restless, like you want to try a few things, maybe change your looks, something else. So express yourself the way you want to. Follow this curiosity, okay? Trapping yourself trying to be something that you're not is going to be much harder now. It's time to follow your, this excitement, okay? We have Mercury sextile Mars. So maybe you're signing a new contract, okay? But it's going to be working the best if you meditate before, because Mars is in the 12th house. So energy levels are still a little bit lower, and it will increase when Mars will go in your sign by the end of the month, okay? But this is good also just to do some, walk in nature because it's in Taurus in the 12th house. But your speech, if you talk, if you have a job interview, or you need to do an important speech, you need to meditate before, because then people are going to be much more intrigued by what you're saying. So if that's possible, even if it's at work, just go to the toilet, do a short meditation, visualize that you connect with your heart and you connect with your throat chakra, and your speech will be so much more, captivating. We have Venus in the third house there in a sextile with Uranus and in a trine with Neptune. So, yeah, if you're speaking in public, you're definitely gonna, have some people really being interested in what you have to say. We have a full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June, okay, at 8 degrees. And for you, that will be in the 8th house. So again, we're talking about money. We also have Mercury stationing retrograde here. So now is not the best time to sign a contract anymore. So go over it a few times. Selling products could be a good time. Okay, these are products that already exist, so not necessarily launching something new, but already what is going. Okay, so definitely income can come your way. This moon in Capricorn is in the 8th house, so money through third parties like insurance, taxes, um yeah, joint finances. But Saturn is in the 11th house, so it's better not to really share certain money situations with your friends, not right now, because Saturn is filtering your friends right now. Okay. Yeah, great time to present in the public. Even though Saturn in the 11th brings only long-term interest, so not masses. And this is so important, right? Because a lot of people, they do something because they want a big audience. And sometimes it's even better to have a smaller audience that is more interested with what you do than have these masses, okay? There are different aspects for different people, and there's no right or wrong. Okay, so with Saturn in the 11th house, it's better to have three people that are committed to what you have to say than thousands that are half listening. Um, yeah, Mars square Uranus. Be careful, my lovely Gemini, because we have Mars in your sign and Uranus, and it's creating a lot of unpredictable situations. So ground yourself well, because it could be that, injuries a little bit, or, stepping the wrong, taking the wrong step. It could be that, people could be triggered suddenly, and there could be some words. Everyone has this transit, so people are a bit like on edge. Not a good time for big surgeries, okay? Beauty surgeries or something like that. If you can postpone it, I would do it until like mid-July. So we have this transit of Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus. Chiron is the wounded healer. This is where we face our wounds, and we see that as an opportunity to heal and help others. When it's transiting, it will just reveal what you need to heal in that specific house. For you, that's in the 12th. So this is related to maybe past life karma, sudden fears regarding money, and you can't really explain where it comes from. This is also, your subconscious beliefs. So feeling uncomfortable, the best way to unlock it is through hypnosis, through meditation. Meditation dissolves your karma. Okay, so that's why it's important to do that. It will really, really help you. It will be square Pluto in the 9th. So certain situations might change your belief systems. Okay. Certain experiences, some people get like spiritual experiences, and that changes things, right? Because you will start to awaken, and that's not so easy because the world is not made for people who are eyes wide open. So, yeah, but there will be a lot of spiritual growth happening. Jupiter will move from Cancer to Leo. So Leo is in the 3rd house. Great time for, your speech will be absolutely captivating. Leo is such a creative sign. So if you do any creative writing, this is going to be a really good time to do that. If you have any study or exams, it's going to be a lot more effortless than usual. So also trips, creative trips, fun trips. Don't back down from that, even though if it's just a day, visiting a city, getting to know, connecting with people through, book clubs or things like that. It's the best way to do that. So Gemini, let me get you a card. Time to go out and have fun. This is what I said. It's just such a nice month. Um, so yeah, definitely have fun. Spiritual guidance, protection from harm, right? Here's a little candle. So maybe you can lighten a little candle for yourself, because some people, and maybe you that are watching, because I'm not saying it for nothing, is that you become more sensitive. So protect yourself. Do a shield of light around you every single day so you feel more protected. Okay, more yeah, because when you have a light in your hand, people want to chase that light, want to be in that light with you. And it's not always possible to carry so many people. So have good boundaries, my amazing Gemini. So I would love to hear, because we have so many shifts in this month. I want to know if you have any plans or anything you are thinking about doing with the shift of the planets. Yeah, I would love to hear from you how you're experiencing all of that. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Cancer. So, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Well, I'm going to start with the best news, because the best news is great, okay? Because between the 1st and 12th of June, my amazing Cancer, we're going to have Jupiter and Venus in a conjunction in your first house. So you're going to be super, super magnetic, okay? You're going to carry two very good planets up front, even though Venus is very different from Jupiter, right? Jupiter gives you optimism, faith, wisdom, great intuition on what to do or where to go in life. But Venus is a bit of luxury. So Jupiter is going to expand luxury. So maybe you want to do like some beauty treatment, massage, take care of yourself, treat yourself, go to the hairdresser, do this nice haircut, or get like, treat yourself, okay? Just watch out for overindulgence, too many sweets, because it's gonna, Jupiter Venus is gonna expand your body as well, okay? So this new moon in Gemini, we have, oh, don't forget Jupiter Venus there, because you're so magnetic. If you're on social media or you're looking for a new job, because in the first house, new things start, because you become so magnetic with Jupiter Venus that people want to offer you things like a relationship or a new job. So, yeah, opportunities can definitely come your way. So on the 15th of June, we have this new one in Gemini. It's in the 12th house. Time for journaling, relaxing, thinking, contemplating. Okay, just enjoying maybe some time alone. Mercury is also sextiling Mars. Okay, so some of you have been reflecting, thinking, and you want to share it with a friend. So you're going to spend some time with friends, share some emotions and feelings, because Mercury is in Cancer. This is about connecting with your emotions. Okay, sharing that with your friends. And yeah, maybe it's a new passion or a new beginning that you want to do. So Venus in Leo, and for you, we have that in the second house. So maybe you find ways to make money on creative projects that you're doing. Make sure to use your earned money well. Do good research on investments, because we have this opposition with Pluto. So don't look out for that. So full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June at 8 degrees in the seventh house. So this is a time where you could meet someone new. Okay. But we do have Saturn in the 10th house. So it could be that, you meeting someone new, but work is asking a lot from you, and that could create some obstacles. If you're in a relationship, there might be some little bit of a battle between your partner and work. Maybe your boss, you're having a difficult time with your boss as well, with Saturn in the 10th house. Could be literally you have trouble with authority, okay? Maybe some paperwork you need to do, because Pluto is in the 8th house as well. Make sure to balance that. Same with business partners, okay? There might be little obstacles that could be coming in. Jupiter will be retrograding your sign, so things will get a bit more foggy. It's best to listen to your intuition and your emotions. Jupiter is in a conjunction, okay, with Mercury here, but it is about to go to Leo, which we're going to talk about soon. Venus trine Saturn, okay, Saturn is in the 10th, Venus is in the 2nd. So committing to your creative projects. And a big watch out is Mars conjunct Uranus. It could be that you have trouble sleeping, or you have like restless dreams, protect yourself well. This is the house of hidden enemies, okay? People you don't see coming due to past life events, okay? So just open your eyes and yeah, careful with sports. Don't overdo that, please, because it's too much in the air. So ground yourself before you're going to do any sports. Best is to not take this to extremes, this energy. So, Chiron in Taurus, and for you, we have that in the 11th house. So, any wounds regarding community, insecurities you have regarding other people, maybe, or other people that you're with, maybe attracting friends that need help, keep helping friends. You could also, the highest form is attracting healers here, okay? Chiron is square Pluto in the eighth. Not a great time to share secrets with your friends because they might end up Mars, Uranus in the 12th house. Your open enemies that will, or not open, closed. Seventh is the open ones. The 12th house is the hidden ones, okay? And we all have that because sometimes when you have something that another person doesn't have, it creates certain feelings in that person. It's really up to that person how far they want to take it. Okay. Like I've seen with people who have, planets in the 12th house. Yeah, and it's connected with the eight. They might attract people that actually can take it a bit further than usual. But yeah, be careful with your secrets, things like that. Jupiter moves from your sign to the second house. Also very good. Good for self-worth, good for money, creative projects, income can definitely increase. Okay. Venus is also here by the end of the month. So overall, this will be really a fantastic month, right? Maybe that's why the jealousy will come a little bit, Cancer, because things are going to be very good for you. This is crazy. Hidden secrets that will harm you. And now, like, literally, wow. Yeah, be careful who you share things with, okay? Don't want to do any fear mongering, but it's better. You should accept valid criticism. What do we have here? So maybe an older woman will give you some advice. Listen to this older woman. If there is anyone coming in your life and saying, Cancer, this is what you should do. Maybe that would be good to listen, right? Um, it's not always the older the wiser, right? Especially now we're in such a transformative time. We can definitely see the split happening between people growing very quickly in their spiritual journey and other people staying where they are, which is also fine. It's their choice, right? We cannot force people to come on the other side. Anyways, Cancer, that's my message for you. I would love, love, love to hear from you what your plans are because there's so many planets shifting. So, what are your plans? Are you feeling anything already? Do you feel good? Can you feel because, end of June, you will already feel this conjunction. So, I would love to hear from you. And if you want to help me expand this channel, subscribe to it, and I'll see you next time. Let's move on to Leo, my lovely Leos. What a great time you're going to go into. This is going to be your year. And I'm so happy to announce that Jupiter will move into your sign. We're going to discuss this very soon. So, between the 1st and 12th of June, we're going to have a conjunction between Jupiter and Venus in the 12th house. So this is very good for just relaxing, honestly, treating yourself, right? 12th house is a bit behind the scenes. Maybe you can go to a pool. This is time to create something. Maybe you have an idea of something you want to launch. And when you're by yourself and you put on some music, it's almost like you can channel your ideas. Okay. So try that. Fantastic time, really. Write down your dreams. They might have a lot of meaning and, might come to you later as well. It's almost like you're divinely protected this month. New moon in Gemini on the 15th of June, making new friends. It's in the 11th house. This is about having fun, enjoying yourself, lighthearted time. So don't be afraid to have a little bit of fun this month. You're going to learn through your friends. We have Mars in the 10th, sextiling Mercury. in the 12th house. So maybe you have some difficulty expressing yourself at work. It could be you're feeling so rosy that it's going to be hard to do that. So take your time to meditate before you go to work, maybe, or to connect. Just have a moment in silence if you have trouble expressing yourself. Okay. Venus is in the first house, so it's a very charming energy. I mean, Jupiter is so close to your ascendant, especially if you're an early degree Leo. This month is wow for you because even though, Jupiter is at the last few degrees, it's already starting to influence you. Okay. Some of you want to already change your looks just to feel this upgrade happening in your life. So we have this full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June at 8 degrees and seeing your sixth house. So time for some strict routines. It's square Saturn in the ninth. So maybe you want to do it according to like a spiritual principle. You want to do some fasting or you want to have, something according to your health. Okay. Even getting a pet or your pet might teach you something about yourself that you didn't even know was possible. Okay. So open your eyes to your pet. Mercury is going to station retrograde. It's conjunct Jupiter. So, wisdom, there's just so much wisdom coming your way. Maybe you're reflecting on things from the past, seeing how you wanted to do things differently, right? Because we grow as a person. At least that's what we hope, right? We make mistakes, we learn from them, we admit them, we take responsibility, and we continue. And that's how you become a better person. Um, yeah, so Venus trines Saturn, committing to a trip, committing to a creative project, committing to yourself, literally, committing to you. Important. Mars is conjunct Uranus in the 11th house. So by the end of the month, be careful with what you say. If you're on social media, be very careful, okay? Especially Leo rising, because Mars and Uranus is unpredictable. And you might say something that you regret, or it might come out the wrong way. Um, yeah, I mean, these it can be a very passionate energy, but it's very unpredictable. So just be a little careful. Also with your friends, there might be some, you know, difficult words going back and forward. Gemini is also the sign of communication, right? So we have Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is in the 10th house. So any insecurities that come up with work, maybe you have had a new job or you're starting something new and you're just a little afraid, like, oh, is that what should I do this? Or is this weird? Or shouldn't I do that? Is that making enough money? South Node is still in the second house. That could drain your money. But very soon, this summer, the South Node will go into your sign. Okay. Very, very spiritual alignment as well, right? Surrendering to the divine and, letting go of patterns that no longer serve you. Chiron is also squaring Pluto in the seventh house, so it's not the best time in the upcoming years for collaborations. They might be a bit difficult. Pluto in the seventh house can attract people that are very dominant. Um, doesn't have to be. Pluto has three layers. If you've been following my channel, Pluto can be the most spiritual person or the worst manipulator. So see what you have there. Well, the good news, save the best for last, Leo. The 30th of June until the 26th of July, 2027, Jupiter will move in the first house. Okay? Now, let me talk to you because so often people say, oh, this is luck. Jupiter is not just luck, Jupiter is expansion, wisdom, optimism. Okay. So, what do we need to do when Jupiter is in the first house? We need to surrender. It's the planet of faith. Don't try to manipulate, push, control the outcome. That's going against Jupiter. Jupiter lives in the moment. It has faith and it knows it's going to be okay. Okay, so listen to your divine guidance. It expands. Sometimes things need to leave your life in order to get a better new beginning. So don't be afraid if that happens for you. Sometimes what looks like a bad situation turns out the best situation. So don't think it's just luck coming to you. There will be some transformations, but actually then turns out the best time. I remember Jupiter going over my ascendant. I was actually laid off in a job, made redundant in a friendly terms, actually, surprisingly, very friendly terms. Um, just wasn't the right fit. And turned out the months after that, I started my own business, very struggling, no income for 6 months. And after that, it started working. So it turned out to be the best time, but in the moment, it didn't seem that way. So don't rush to see what Jupiter is going to do for you, because it's going to start something that is very significant. Okay. Karma, you reap what you have sown. Okay. Stay pure. This is the best thing. Even though sometimes people come, trigger you, do all kinds of things, you can stand up for yourself, but don't respond. Don't revenge. Because your good karma comes later. Don't ever underestimate that. Only God knows when that comes. You have to trust. You know, if you follow your Jupiter, you're going to have the best year. Okay. Jealousy is part of that. So let people trigger, but don't do it back. I think it even says in the Bible, like, turn the other cheek. I agree with that because it's a law of karma. Let them do that. Let them go. See you, see you never, hopefully. Affairs with your family. So things might be improving there, reconciliation. So maybe you're going to reconcile with your family. Maybe you haven't seen them in a while. But, Leo, your energy is already big, but don't let people talk you down because your energy is going to be bigger this year. So don't decline, don't make yourself smaller to make other people comfortable. Shine this year. This is your year, okay? So that's my recommendation for you. There's so much shifting. So Leo, please let me know your plans. I would love to hear from you. What are your plans? What are you going to do with this beautiful energy that's coming up for you? And also, don't forget to subscribe, help me expand this channel, this video. Thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Virgo. Virgo Sun and Rising. So we're going to have this amazing alignment between the 1st and 12th of June of Venus in a conjunction with Jupiter. It's in your 11th house. Fantastic house. It's such a great house. House of luck, fun, being with friends. Jupiter is faith, expansion, wisdom, luck. Venus has a different agenda. This is about luxury, treating yourself well. So you might be, meeting with friends, just having such a good time, finding the right community. Watch out for self-indulgence though, because you might be having so much fun that you're eating and drinking too much. But this is a time for expansion, meeting the right people. Um, yeah, it's just if you want to launch something like a business, this is a good time, right? We also have Gemini season going over your 10th house. Don't wait until the end of the month because we have Mercury retrograde. But if you want to launch anything new, Virgo, this is the month to do it, okay? If you're on social media, you're going to be so magnetic. People are going to be so drawn to you. Or if you're in the public or a public speaker, you're going to have this magnetism. It's in Cancer though, so make sure that you connect your Mercury, right? Your words with your heart. Some of you will go on a holiday with your friends as well. And we have Venus there in the 12th house, so there might be some secret admirer for some of you um Virgos. But yeah, this new moon will be in the 10th house as well on the 15th of June at 24 degrees. So new job, new clients, new projects, maybe at work as well. Very good time. Okay. Uranus wants you to be open, let it flow, let things flow naturally. Let's go to this full moon in Capricorn. So this is your fellow earth sign. So especially highly impacted if you have sun, moon, or rising at 8 degrees. So some of you will start a creative project here. We do have Saturn in the 8th house, so be careful with, people wanting to invest in you, you investing in something. It's not the best time, okay? Could be even a distraction like with taxes, or, I know that in Spain at least we have to do yearly taxes very soon. So make sure that everything goes well there. Um, yeah, if you're waiting for any child custody or situation financially with children, then this would be, it's time for responsibility. Responsibility will get you uh, things on the good side, okay? But if you're in any child custody, it could take a bit of time with Saturn in the eighth house, okay? But don't give up, work hard, stay in integrity. Children always first, right? But I know more Virgos. So Virgos are the best. So we have Mercury stationing retrograde in the 11th house with Jupiter. So maybe you're going to reflect back on the past with your friends, see what you've learned, what wisdom have I gained. Some of you, your friends are family, actually hanging out with your family. They feel like friends, especially for Virgo rising. Just kind of like this reflection on life. We have Venus trine Saturn, Venus in the 12th house, trining Saturn in the 8th. So time for some rest, spiritual growth, focusing on those things. There will be a big exclamation mark on the end, from this time actually until like the 10th of July. Mars in Gemini is in a conjunction with Uranus. So this can go very well, but this is very unpredictable and it can lead to angry words, suddenly leaving a job, leaving a client, getting angry with your boss. So meditate before. Avoid going to work if you can work from home. Very good. So yeah. Also watch your words at social media. So everything is going great, but just the end is a little bit ups and downsy. So be careful with that, okay? So Chiron is moving in another fellow earth sign of Taurus, okay, in your ninth house. Now, with Chiron here, this is, ninth house is teaching, teachers, studying, traveling. Now, it could feel like you don't even want to go too far, traveling too far. Maybe you're afraid of, spending too much money, and even watch your money because there could be some pickpockets if you're going to go, people taking your money when you're away. Also, this alignment, be very careful which teacher you align yourself with, okay? If you have a teacher that says, trust me, I know everything, I'm the only one who knows, follow me, you're all peasants and you don't know what to do. This is not good, right? These people have the most followers, but it's because we are so disconnected from ourselves that we want someone to tell us what to do so we don't have to think. But it's not good. You need someone to trigger you a little bit, making you the best version of yourself, okay? But once again, I know you will work on this healing side. So don't give your power away to a teacher. It's also squaring Pluto in the sixth. So, even diet is going to be very important, especially if you do travel. Watch out for certain foods, okay? But Chiron in the ninth house can put you on the spiritual track as well, okay? Becoming a healer, becoming a teacher, healing people also with wounds, with money, mindset in money, things like that, okay? Jupiter is going in the sign of Leo. So this is a time for super spiritual growth. Like usually people say, oh, this is not, it's like kind of boring, right? Jupiter in the 12th house. Well, you're preparing for Jupiter in your sign next year. And what does this do? It kind of reflects over the past year. What have you done? What would you like to change? Is there any new start that you would like to work towards? This is about working behind the scenes, growth for your spirituality, and people don't see that as a big thing, but usually when you grow spiritually, you have a bigger overview. You see things be in a bigger way. So that means work will become easier because you can just channel it, you can flow it. Okay. This is what will happen. Your creativity behind the scenes will be crazy. So maybe you're working on something, and you're going to launch it when Jupiter is in your sign. So you're preparing for that. Okay. Now, the nodes are also going very soon. If you're an early degree Virgo, look at that. The South Node is going almost over your, Sun, Moon, and Rising. including myself, I have my sun at 2 degrees in Virgo. So I'm also talking to myself. This is really a spiritual time, my Virgos, where we let go of the old and we're letting the new in, okay? And we're gonna really uh it's almost like all the, sun is identity, father, moon is mother, emotions, and your ascendant is how you come across. What do you want to let go of? What do you not want to bring in your new successful start, okay? So martial arts and yoga, any spiritual flowy sports will help. It's in a fire sign. So like Tai Chi, yoga, more active sports will help you reconnect with your body. All right. Yeah. Thinking about starting having children, okay, with this full moon in Capricorn as well. Disappointment in a friend or lover. So some of you have been a little bit disappointed in a friendship, okay? Or maybe someone that you are dating. And sometimes good advice from a friend. So someone is going to give you advice. Maybe another friend is going to give you some advice on how to deal with a certain situation in love or in, friendships. And new home, new attitude, right? It could be that some of you are moving or you're just finding this new home within yourself. Sometimes one thing leads to another thing that's going to be even better for you. So anyways, I would love to hear from you, Virgo. What are your plans for the upcoming time? Because so many planets are shifting. So I'm sure your plans are shifting as well. And yeah, let me know in the comments and also subscribe to my channel so you help me expand my channel as well. So thank you so much for being here and until next time. So let's move on to Libra. My lovely Libra, Sun and Rising, but especially Rising, right? Most accurate. We have Venus conjunct Jupiter in your 10th house. Fantastic alignment. So, Jupiter is expansion, it's the teacher. So this can really, if you're a teacher at work or you're guiding people, you definitely have a chance of getting more recognition for the things that you're doing. Venus is luxury, beauty. So you're definitely going to be very magnetic in the public. So if you're in social media or if any in general, people will maybe talk to you in the public because they feel like you have such a magnetic energy, my lovely Libra. But yeah, good news with work for sure. If you're launching anything, um, any creative project, that's going to be very successful. Now, Cancer is just a very nurturing sign. So maybe you just feel so satisfied with your work. You feel that you're in a good place. Yeah. And if not, there will be most likely be a new opportunity coming your way. This new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June is in your fellow air sign. It's going to make a beautiful trine, especially if it's around 24 degrees. You're someone rising in the ninth house. So this is great for a trip. Maybe you want to travel, you want to study something, learning a language abroad. It's like following your curiosity because Uranus as well is in the ninth house. So this is really making you very open-minded. Some of you maybe want to study astrology or, numerology or anything spiritually related, but also still in a cerebral way that you can understand it, or quantum physics, things like that. Okay. So great for doing any type of research, and teaching that to others. We have Mercury in Cancer to sextile Mars. Mars is in the eighth house. So transformation in your life is helping you with your work, changing your perspective on how you see work. Sometimes just letting go, right? Like sometimes we try to push things, and Jupiter is actually about letting things go, having faith that it will be okay. That's the best way to deal with this energy. Venus is in the 11th house, so just great to have a fun time with friends. Maybe you're traveling even with friends, okay? Talking to groups. Maybe you're going to do like a workshop or you're connecting with people online. And even friends can turn into more like romance, but see what the intentions are because the Venus is making an opposition with Pluto retrograde, okay? So here we go. We have this full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June. Mercury will station retrograde. So be a bit wary of signing contracts, things like that. Going over past work is going to be very good. This full moon is in the fourth house. So some of you will move for work, work from home, balancing work, home life, and work. Okay. New announcements in the family that will impact your work as well. Going back to previous clients for some of you. Okay. Um, Now we have Venus trying Saturn as well. So Venus is in the 11th house and Saturn is in the 7th. Okay. So there could definitely, for all the Libras with Saturn in the 7th house, it's really about relationships become either more committed or they break, because here real commitment is being tested, and maybe some friends that you have are more than just friends, okay, and you decide to commit as partners, because people forget, they look at the movies and this ideal love, but sometimes the best love is marrying your best friend. Okay. Now, there's something that you need to be a little bit careful for, and especially if you're a Libra rising, it's going to make a grand trine for you, okay? With some tricky planets. Uranus and Mars are there in the ninth house, so travel is tricky. If you can prevent it, I would prevent it, okay? Don't panic if you are traveling. There could just be some words or, obstacles before you get where you need to be. If you're teaching anything, okay, don't fight with your students. Don't get too triggered because it is a very triggering energy, okay? Maybe around you, some fake teachers, spiritual teachers will be exposed as well. Also be careful when you're pregnant because, we have your, especially rising Libra, because we have a grand trine and it includes Pluto retrograde in the fifth house. Okay. Don't do any crazy hikes or activities in general. Libra, be careful with hikes, because especially if you're angry or have lots of, Gemini energy is in the head, so doesn't watch the steps very well, especially with Uranus Mars. There's just too much going on and you don't watch their feet. Okay. Now, here we go. Next transit is Chiron in Taurus, which will happen um, in your eighth house. Okay. So, eighth house means that here you're going to do a lot of work on transforming things, and especially related to money. Okay. Other people's money, investments, things like that. It's not the best time to do any type of investment or to start a joint venture. It's better to keep it separate. Okay. And if you do, make very good agreements with each other. Don't settle for things that you don't want to settle for. Okay. It's best to keep it separate until you agree, both of you, with business partners or with your relationship, right? With your spouse. Also, Chiron is in a square with Pluto retrograde in the fifth. So make good agreements financially about children, custody. If there's a divorce and there's a custody battle, um, yeah, don't make sure that the child is not going to suffer for that. Um, this doesn't count for everyone, but I have to say all the different sides, right? I'm gonna trigger anyways with whatever I'm saying. So Jupiter in Leo, very, 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 very good news. Because we first have this beautiful alignment of Venus, Jupiter in the 10th. Okay, Jupiter now going into the 11th. So this is a year to have fun, to enjoy, to connect with people. For some, it's also children. Starting a family, it is opposite fifth house, but like I said, you need good agreements with each other. Finding new community, be on social media, maybe you're sharing a talent on social media. This is going to be the best time to do it. Such a great time to be creative, to be a creator, and show your talents to the world. Now let me get you a card. Wow, this is all good, right? What do we have? I have February, so some of you are born in February. Okay. um Yeah, so Aquarius, Pisces, Sun with the Libra rising. Or we have here money coming to you. So keep going, keep working on your projects, okay? New opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening. This is going to be such a good year for you. Okay, such a good year. 11th house is a beautiful house. So a lot of good things can come to you. Okay, so don't give up on your dreams. Keep going. Anyways, Libra, I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to share with me what your plans are, what you're going to do, because we have so many shifts, I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe to my channel to help me expand this channel. And until next time, let's go to Scorpio. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, such good news. We have this conjunction between the 1st and the 12th of June of Venus being in a conjunction with Jupiter in your fellow water sign. So this is absolutely amazing in your ninth house. So especially if you have a rising, in the last few degrees, it's going to make this beautiful alignment. Okay. Sun, moon, and rising, last few degrees, Scorpio, that's going to impact you in the best ways possible. It's great for traveling. Maybe you want to do a little bit of a luxury trip, treating yourself. Very good for, spirituality, reading about spirituality, creativity. Maybe you want to write something, create something, publish something. Your teaching can be on point, very magnetic, 9 houses of teaching. Okay. So such a good time. You could be feeling so good because this is making a beautiful trine with your sign. Okay. This new moon in Gemini will be on the 15th of June at 24 degrees in the 8th house. So unexpected money could be coming in to maybe, inheritance or taxes, insurance, papers. A good time for doing research, occult, anything related to if you're an astrologer, this is such a good time to do research. If you're an accountant, if you're in any medical field, or you're in a research lab, you might actually get like a lot of interesting details right. Okay, Mercury is sextiling Mars in the 7th house. Okay, Mercury is in the 9th. So maybe you're traveling with your partner, with your business partner. You're just having very interesting conversations with people one on one. So yeah, it's such a good time. It's really nice time, honestly. Venus is in Leo in the 10th house. Okay, and it's sextiling Uranus. So yeah, you might have such creativity, and actually, your creativity might be inspired through your own transformation that you've been through in your life. So we have a full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June at, 8 degrees. And this full moon in Capricorn is in your third house. So traveling, we have Mercury retrograde. So it could be that you're traveling back to a place that you're familiar with, starting a study, or actually going over an old study and seeing things in a different light. We can learn so much reading things another time, seeing something another time. Okay, you might be really into watching certain documentaries, learning a language, or revisiting everything. Yeah, maybe you're going back to a country and you need to look into the language again, because it can go away quite soon if you're not keeping it up. Venus is trining Saturn. Saturn is in the 6th house. So if you're committed to your routines, to your work, okay, you're definitely gonna see results from that in your work, in your, even if you're an entrepreneur, make sure to have good routines with Saturn in the 6th house. Don't avoid responsibility. Don't avoid working. It's time to work, and you will get rewards for that. Okay, Jupiter is going to Leo, which I'm going to go to soon. Mars is conjunct Uranus, which is very volatile. So be very careful with accidents, um, anger. Maybe things are coming up from the past, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's actually making me quite angry. Okay, don't fight people. Be very careful. Okay, not a good time for investments. Also, don't do that. If you're in any cost or any battle with the law, okay, make sure that you you don't spill out things, it's going to work against you. Okay, Chiron is now in Taurus in your seventh house. Okay, don't fear that it's not going to attract relationships, or we're going to break up. Relationships that are very strong are not suddenly going to break up. It's just the planets are just actually showing you what the reality is sometimes, right? We can run away from a certain reality, but sometimes it's just really just revealing what's already there. Okay. So sometimes nothing happens. But if you're single, be careful attracting people that maybe need a lot of healing, that you're constantly healing them at the cost of yourself. That's what Chiron can do in the seventh house. And it's in Taurus. So it could be like your partner doesn't have money or you need to support them financially. Um, you just set good boundaries, okay, if that's the case, and have grow this self-worth. You can also attract a healer, so someone that is also a healer. Okay, now Chiron is in a square with Pluto in the fourth house, and it's going to be for quite some time when when Chiron is in Taurus. So it could be that you're attracting people, it's not just relationships, it's business partnerships, collaborations, one-on-one. You might attract people that remind you of your own family, okay? Because we all have certain patterns in the family that we are here to break. And when we didn't break them yet, or didn't become very conscious, we're going to have people portraying these reflections. And the funny thing is, the more awake you are, the more lessons you get. They hit you harder because you're in higher frequency. So things go faster. They go much faster. Okay. So you're going through your karma much faster, but yeah, you need to hang on tight to go through the hurricane and then come out on the other side, which is the blissful state. Jupiter in Leo. What a good news for you, Scorpio. In the 10th house. Great for career, great for visibility, great for social media, management, promotions, new job, or maybe just being satisfied with the work that you do. And with Leo, it can also be something that is, creative. Maybe you're working in a creative place, turning your creativity into work. So the best year for that. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. So some of you have been going through a tough period. Okay. Let me know, Scorpio, if that's you. Going through a tough period, right? That's changing now. Good fortune. Okay. Things are changing for a lot of you. Okay. I cannot look in your chart, but for most of you, things are turning for the better. So keep going. Don't give up on yourself, on your dreams. Yeah. Be smart in business, right? Because when you start to do well, Scorpio, there will be some foxes looking out, collaborating with you, wanting to be part of your success, but be very careful with that, okay? Because sometimes people want to profit and you need to have good boundaries with that. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to know what your plans are. Are you going to launch anything? What are your plans for the upcoming time with all these planetary shifts? And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel so to help me expand that as well. So thank you so much, Scorpio. Sending you so many blessings. And until next time. Let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun and Rising, we have this beautiful alignment in Cancer from the 1st of June until the 12th. So we have Venus conjunct Jupiter in the 8th house. So this is great for, finances. It might be because Cancer is in the 8th house that family is supporting you financially. Even it could be a property through inheritance. Good luck with taxes, insurances, just getting money. Maybe your spouse is earning a lot of money that you also profit from, right? So yeah, but it could also be just simple transformation because Cancer is ruled by the moon and 8th house is about transforming. So maybe you've been working on yourself and you're seeing such positive results, like such joy, and you're starting to be excited about life again. Okay. We have this new one in Gemini, which can also help you attract a partner. also with Uranus in the 7th house, and it's in a sextile with Mars in the 6th. New collaborations in work can happen. For some of you, you want to work with a partner, okay? Venus in the 9th house, lovely time to travel, travel with your kids, travel with your partner, or travel just by yourself, right? Nothing is right or wrong. You do what is best for you. Maybe for study or learning some kind of skill. Then we have a full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June at 8 degrees in your 2nd house. So this is great for income. So yeah, you could get a raise, a new client, more income is coming your way. Okay. And we also have Mercury in a Mercury stationing retrograde in a conjunction with Jupiter, okay, in this image, because I have to put the signs first, right, to make that visible. But it's in your 8th house. So going over your money, going over your investments, see what you've done so far, see how you can change things. Maybe you even want to look at your past, okay, past of your family. And you're just getting so much wisdom. And even if you're into like research, right? Especially at the beginning of the month as well. If you're into research or you really can have a lot of success there. So that's where money can come in as well. If you have an accountant business, accountancy, if you're a psychologist, if you're a healer, you might find a lot of success this month. Okay. And also this full moon in Capricorn. Now, Saturn is there in the 5th house. So make sure, Sagittarius, that you're not blocking your inner child, your inner enjoyment, that you're just working, but that you're also having fun in the meantime. Now, there's a little bit of a volatile alignment which will happen by the end of June until like mid-July or like 10th of July, which is Uranus is in a conjunction with Mars in Gemini. It's in the 7th house. So there could be some fights with a business partner, with your partner. So avoid avoid that. Maybe go on a holiday by yourself this time. I don't know. No, it could be that definitely there could be some restless energy going on, some fights with your partner. So yeah, try to meditate around this time. So Sagittarius, we have Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus, and this will be up until the 18th of September. We'll go back into Aries in the 6th house. So it's time to heal any insecurities towards your body, right? And I see this sometimes on social media, and I mean, I'm a millennial, so I don't know who else or older generations, right? What you think about that, but I see these really beautiful people doing already so much to their faces, and um, they are so beautiful. Like we're not embracing like natural beauty anymore, like wrinkles and moving faces, right? So yeah, this is about healing our self-worth, our body, and knowing that we all have different type of bodies, and every type of body is beautiful, right? Unless it becomes unhealthy. But you will know that, right? If it becomes unhealthy. So you're changing your diet here, and you can become a teacher for others to change their diet as well. You have Pluto there in the 3rd house. So some of you will study maybe even about diets. Maybe you're doing gardening, you're helping others to share that knowledge. Okay. So it's about healing any insecurity, what is there, and knowing that your body, just as everybody's body, is so beautiful. And we can heal that ourselves, right? So work can disrupt your eating habits. So yeah, don't try to skip too many meals or eat too much because of the routine. Okay. It's very good to keep some kind of routine with Chiron in the 6th house, even though Chiron doesn't like to have that routine there. An animal can be very, very healing for you as well. Can really heal you on many levels, right? Because animals are healers too. Then we have this beautiful alignment that I'm very, very excited about. On the 30th of June, we have Jupiter moving in Leo in the 9th house, in its own house. This is great for traveling, wisdom, okay, studying, teaching, your curiosity, let it go. Learn a new language, write something, just follow this creative feeling. And because Jupiter is boosting your ascendant, you're going to be so optimistic about the things that you're going to do. I'm getting December. Well, some of you Sagittarius, you have your birthday in December, or maybe that's when you're going to travel or going to do something. Opportunity or windfall. Okay. So definitely money can be coming in for you. Okay. What do we have here? A path with money is waiting for you. So definitely income can be coming your way. Okay. Now we have a relationship with the older man. So either some of you are healing your relationship with your father or with your grandfather or with authority in general. Okay. We have the South Node in Virgo and it's about to go over your midheaven in the sign of Leo. So any difficulty with, authority and men in your family that are authority for you, it's time to heal that. Okay. Maybe that has been blocking your success as well. So, anyways, I would love to hear from you, Sagittarius, about your journey. What are you going to do with all these shifting planets? I would love to hear what your plans are for the upcoming time for June. And also subscribe to my channel so you help me expand this channel as well. And until next time, let's move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, Sun and Rising. We're going to start off with talking about this really good alignment that will happen between the 1st and 12th of June in your 7th house. And this is a beautiful alignment. So some of you Capricorns are definitely going to get married, finding more commitment, finding love. It's such a good time for you for love and romance. We have, especially for Capricorn rising, okay? We have Mars in the 6th house with Uranus in the 6th house. So it's great for, maybe with your romantic partner, you're going to talk about your ideas for work, maybe the animals you want to have. But at the same time, this is good for creativity in the workplace, okay? Creativity in the workplace. You need a level of freedom in your work with Uranus in the 6th house now, okay? It's going to change the way you see work and how it works for you, okay? Venus is in Leo in the 8th house, so that's good for money. Unexpected income might be coming, right? Maybe you have more clients coming in if you're self-employed, or you get some commissions or bonuses, or people want to support the work that you're doing. So then we have this full moon in Capricorn on the 29th of June in your own sign. So you're going to feel this, especially if you have around 8 degrees sun, moon, and rising. So this is a wonderful time again for romantic relationships. Okay. And I know I had some Capricorn saying, I don't want a relationship, I want work. This is also collaborations, right? One on one. So if you're doing anything related to customer service, you're talking with customers one on one. It's also a good time, especially beginning of June. Um, Mercury is stationing retrograde. So for some of you, you might talk with some exes coming back. Please don't hope for them to come back. They're ex for a reason. And if it's really unfinished, life will bring you back together to finish it. But if they don't come back, trust that that was for a reason. Okay? Because sometimes we have past life karma with someone and it looks like love, but it was not love. It was just a lesson. Okay. The right person will always stay with you. You don't ever have to worry about that. Then we have Venus in the 8th house, trining Saturn. So, yeah, maybe you're trying to get a loan for a house, but Saturn is in the 4th house, so it can slow things down. It could be a transformation in money as well and how you commit to yourself. Okay. It's time to commit to yourself, Capricorn. Really transform that. When you commit to you, you will see your relationships will be healthier, and I'm not meaning that in a selfish way. I'm meaning that in a, what do you like? Who are you? Not surrendering who you are when you're with someone else or when you are dealing even with a business partnership, that you stay with you, your vessel, your soul. Mars is conjunct Uranus. This is a bit of a volatile combination, okay? It's going to be there up until beginning of July, so be very careful for your health. Take it serious. Go to the doctor if anything is up. Also for accidents. It's not a good time to do extreme sports right now, okay? Take care of your health. Very, very much take care of your health, okay? It's just an exclamation mark, watch out period, which is weird because everything else is so good astrology wise, but just the end of the month, be a little careful with that, okay? And don't drive angry. So we have Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus, okay, your fellow Earth sign. So it's making a trine in the fifth house. So this means that it's time to heal your inner child, your inner belief system, maybe the creative blocks that you feel that you're having. Okay, you're gonna heal that through maybe having your hobbies, maybe your own children heal you, your own inner child. You're doing creative things with your children. Okay, this is time to use your wounds and heal your children. So it doesn't need to your pain does not need to continue to the next person, right? That's the whole goal of it. And Chiron is in a square with Pluto in the second house. So it's good to not overspend money on your hobbies or on your children. Look at your budget or not spend anything at all. And sometimes when you don't spend and you hold on to it, it doesn't flow, right? Money needs to be spent sometimes, even though it's small amounts, and little donations always help, right? Doing good with your money is a positive flow. Little trick. Jupiter is also moving to Leo in your eighth house. So this is very good for money, okay? Investments, good for investments, people investing in you, in your business. This is also growing closer together, soul to soul with your partner. Shared resources can activate money from the in-laws, literally. Um, Lucky things with taxes, insurances, inheritance, okay? Activating money for you. Also very good for people who are working in psychology, are healers, they're surgeons, things like that, accountants, researchers. They will have really a lot of luck in this um, with this Jupiter in Leo. So let me get you a cards, Capricorn. November. Okay. Some is for some of you, big plans are coming for November, or your birthday is in November if you're Capricorn rising. Time to get out of a situation. So maybe you've been in a situation that was no longer serving you. Sometimes we hold on to things, right? And Capricorn, you are very serious about things. Like when you commit, and you expect the same from other people. But if one person commits and the other person doesn't commit, that's kind of an answer, right? And people will come back sometimes at their own terms. Someone will try to make you do something against your will, okay? So um, sometimes people want something for you, but that's not what you want. So you have to always first feel your own intuition. What is it that you want? Instead of letting other people decide for you. Okay? Temporary situation. So, whatever some of you that are watching are going through, it's temporarily. It really is about you understanding what it is that you want, right? Happiness is following very, very soon. So, sometimes you have to see what can you do and stay in integrity in the best way possible. But sometimes it's not always staying or trying to heal something that doesn't want to be healed, right? So yeah, that would be my message for you, Capricorn. Such an amazing time, such a romantic time for you. I would love to hear from you what your plans are for the upcoming time with all these planetary shifts. Also subscribe to my channel to help me expand my channel. And Capricorn, I'm sending you lots of blessings. And until next time, let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's start with the best alignment of the year. Jupiter and Venus in Cancer in a conjunction, which will happen between the 1st and the 12th of June in your 6th house. So, this is very good for work. If you're looking for a new job, this is a very good time, okay? Expansion, so maybe more clients coming your way. The only thing is that maybe you're getting a bit of sweet tooth. So be careful with that. Like Jupiter will protect your health, but it won't protect your weight. So just be a little mindful of that. Pets, getting a new pet, like that pet might be a very, very special pet that is going to really change the course of your life and how you see life. Okay. Could be like almost like a pet that shares wisdom with you. We have a new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June in the 5th house. So, such a creative time, very fun for creativity, creative expression. Maybe you want to expand your family. So, pregnancy for some Aquarius rising, creative, anything creative. Okay. Writing, writers. Um, yeah, maybe just starting a hobby that you really enjoy. This is the best time to do it. Mercury is in the 6th house, is sextiling Mars in the 4th. So for some of you, you're moving maybe for work or just having such good conversations with your colleagues that giving you certain ideas on houses, what to change in the house. Working from home, literally could be working from home. We have Venus in Leo in the 7th house. So yeah, new romance for some of you Aquarius, okay? Also, if you're in a relationship, time to just enjoy time together. It's just a very nice time. Then we have a full moon in Capricorn. So Capricorn is in the 12th house. Time for some rest, some good balance. If you've been overworking, doing too much, listen to your body, okay? Mercury is stationing retrograde now, so not the best time to sign contracts. Better up until the mid section of the month, okay, for jobs. Going back to an old client, right? Doesn't, or unless you have Mercury retrograde in your chart, it's fine to start a new job. Going back to an old client, going over work you've already done to really get like a good perspective on things. Um, Mars conjunct Uranus. This is pretty volatile. Be very, very careful with pregnancy, okay? If you're pregnant, Aquarius rising especially. And also be careful with children, fights with children, fight with your romance, misunderstanding each other, being a bit triggered, okay? Romance or creative projects, you might feel very frustrated. Just leave it aside and you continue when you feel things have calmed down again, okay? All right. So, we have Chiron in Taurus, which will happen on the 19th of June. And this is in the 4th house. So you're healing patterns from your ancestors, patterns from your family. Okay. It's all in the same. Regarding stability within yourself, feeling safe, security. So if you're feeling like you're always walking on eggshells, there's something you need to heal within yourself, within your roots, and the acceptance of your roots, either bad or good, right? It's about healing that. So you can heal others. So some of you, if you're a therapist, you can really understand someone's pain of a family and become healers. Um, Fear of losing money, fear of losing a house, working on that, okay? Helping others that are in similar situations, right? There are people who became homeless and now are helping the homeless when they work themselves up, work themselves out of that situation. It's square Pluto, and Pluto is in retrograde in the 1st house. So, especially Aquarius rising, you're going through such transformation. You're healing family patterns right now, a lot of you. So, really give yourself a lot of credit. Take it easy, okay? Rest when you need to. You don't need to rush things. Yeah, if your body says take a break, then listen to that, okay? Jupiter will go into the 7th house. This is so good for new romance for the whole year. Okay. So, higher commitment, marriage, engagement, or meeting someone new. Now, the thing is that Jupiter will provide you with options, but you need to be ready to see those options as well. Like, if you're going to stay in the house, it's going to be very hard to meet someone, right? And also, we have to look at our inner self because sometimes we are just not ready energetically. Taking a vacation physically or mentally. So some of you Aquarius, you just need a little bit of a break, okay? But good news is coming. And sometimes when we listen, because we see this ear, when we listen to our intuition, when we listen to other people, like things might just be shifting for you. You will be shown the way. Look at that. Your intuition is going to be spot on right now. So listen to that. A lot of changes happening for you. Okay. Uh, be emotionally ready for that right love. Sometimes, when at least we know who we are and we're not perfect, but we accept that, we can be in healthier dynamics. Okay. But if you're with your partner already, yeah, it's gonna be a good year, but just be a little careful with the end of June, beginning July. That's the only little tricky time. So that would be my message for you, Aquarius. I would love to hear from you, your plans. What are you gonna do the upcoming time? Because we have so many shifts. Also for me to learn what is going on in people's lives with the signs that they have. Anyways, if you want to help me expand my video, subscribe to it as well. And thank you so much for being here. And until next time, let's move on to Pisces. So I have such good news for you, Pisces, because we're going to have and especially Pisces rising. Okay, we have between the 1st and the 12th of June, we have Venus in a conjunction with Jupiter and in your 5th house. So this is great, great for creative projects. Great time to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to be playful, to spend time with your children. Maybe you're deciding to start a family or you just started a family. Connect with your inner child, being playful. Such a fantastic time. Okay, you might get attention for certain skills that you have. If you're a singer or you're an actor, or you're a chef or whatever you're doing, your creative skills will be highly appreciated. Then we have a new moon in Gemini on the 15th of June. So it will be in the 4th house. For some, that will trigger a move. Just spending time with family, enjoying yourselves, um, communicating with them, right? We have Mars in the 3rd house in a sextile with Uranus in the 4th. So talking with family, talking with your siblings, reconnecting with each other, okay? And this can also be just family that you've chosen, okay? Or a little trip. Maybe you want to make a trip with your family or to your family. We have Venus in Leo in the 6th house, okay? It's a good time for a new job. Make sure to balance rest with work, okay? Don't overdo things because a lot of things might be happening for you. And then we have this full moon in Capricorn, and that will be in the 11th house at 8 degrees. And, you will see which friends are supporting you right now. What is your right community? Who are supporting the good things that are happening in your life? Mercury is going to start retrograde by the end of the month. So make sure that, all contracts are signed before. Like I said, this new moon is good for moving and contracts, but by the end of the month, we have Mars conjunct Uranus in the 4th house. This will be much more triggering. Suddenly, everything shifts to triggering situations in the family, home. If you're doing any construction in the home, be very careful, okay? Like, I would skip this time if I was you, if you could, or skip meeting family, go around this new moon or before when all the planets are very nice. This is a little bit more triggering time. This is a time to reflect to your past, so that might be triggering that as well. We have Venus in a trine with Saturn in the 2nd. So a new job or your job might be, it's important to commit. You will see success when you commit. And Saturn in the 2nd house restricts money sometimes, but it wants to see this commitment within you. So keep going. Don't give up. And it will work out. Have healthy routines, not too much, but don't start to doubt yourself. Then we have Chiron moving in the sign of Taurus on the 19th of June, and it will be in your third house of communication. So you are healing your insecurity regarding studying, how you're speaking, healing any problems you have with siblings, okay? Not feeling good enough. Actually, others might find your words very, very healing. This is the weird thing because it's the wounded healer. So even you don't feel a certain way, others do feel that way. Okay, so don't try to see how you can overcome insecurity also with studying and things like that. We have a square with Pluto in the 12th house, so meditation and shadow work will definitely help you heal. Okay, and your intuition is going to be on point with Pluto there in the 12th house. We have Jupiter moving in the sign of Leo in the 6th house on the 30th of June. Such a beautiful time for work. If you want a new job. Now we do have Mercury retrograde, okay? So wait until after before you sign a contract unless you have Mercury retrograde. But this whole year will be about work, more clients. Some of you will go back to a company you worked for before. Beautiful time to get a pet as well, and the pet might be a very healing being. Good news. So good news is coming to you, Pisces, this month. It's going to be such a lovely month. Ooh, this is yeah, too much sensuality, okay? Make sure that it doesn't override your other senses, right? Because sometimes you meet someone, it's so intense, and then you lose track of other things, okay? Do not be tempted to lower your standards. So if there is anything that doesn't feel right, that feels and you feel it from the heart, not from the head, right? The head says, oh yeah, I deserve, that's too low. No, the heart. Listen to the heart. If something doesn't feel right in a job or in a relationship, feel that. Maybe it's something that came to you in May and this will continue now. An exciting event. So you have to pick what feels right to you. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. I would love to hear from you your plans in June because such a good month. What you're gonna do, and also subscribe to my channel to help me expand this channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best. And until next time, thank you so much.